Winning.
What does it take to win? Winning in business is great because when companies win, people thrive and grow. Winning, however, isn't only important for top executives, but for everyone, from the boardroom to the mailroom, who wants to get ahead and help his or her organization. The two are intertwined. For an individual, winning is personal. In the business world, winning is multidimensional. Mission and values are two terms that have got to be among the most abstract, overused, misunderstood words in the business world. By contrast, a good mission statement and a good set of values are real and concrete. Lack of candor blocks smart ideas, fast action, and good people contributing all the stuff they've got. When you've got candor, everything just operates faster and better. The candor effect can be broken down into three parts. First, you get idea-rich. Second, candor generates speed. Third, candor cuts costs. Put all of its benefits and efficiencies together, and you realize you just can't afford not to have candor. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. Differentiation is not cruel, but instead fair and effective. Companies win when their managers make a clear and meaningful distinction between top and bottom performing businesses and people. Companies suffer when every business and person is treated equally. Differentiation is just resource allocation. Along with being the most efficient and most effective way to run your company, differentiation also happens to be the fairest and the kindest. Ultimately, it makes winners out of everyone. However, differentiation cannot and must not be implemented quickly. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. Hiring good people is hard. Hiring great people is brutally hard. Nothing matters more in winning than getting the right people on the field. However, before you think about assessing people for a job, they have to pass through three screens. The first test is for integrity, the second is for intelligence, and the third is maturity. Once you have the right players for the field, they need to be managed. People management comes down to 6 fundamental practices. First, elevate HR to a position of power and primacy in the organization, and make sure HR people have the special qualities to help managers build leaders and careers. Second, use a rigorous, non-bureaucratic evaluation system. Next, create effective mechanisms such as money, recognition, and training to motivate and retain. Then, when necessary, move straight into charged relationships. You can fight about issues, but your fighting will be more productive if you're always clear about what issues are negotiable and which are untouchable. The next practice is to fight gravity, and instead of taking the middle 70% for granted, treat them like the heart and soul of the organization. Lastly, design the organization chart to be as flat as possible, with clear reporting relationships and responsibilities. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. Crisis management is another key towards winning. As long as companies are made up of human beings, there'll be mistakes, controversies, and blow-ups. Crises demand from leaders a daunting balancing act. On one hand, you've got to throw everything you've got into understanding and solving the crisis. At the same time, you have to put that activity into a compartment and carry on as if nothing is actually wrong. You can be proactive in preventing some crises in 3 main ways. Tight controls, such as disciplined financial and accounting systems with tough internal and external auditing processes, should be used. Also, try to prevent crises with good internal processes, such as rigorous hiring procedures, candid performance reviews, and comprehensive training programs that make the company's policies nothing short of crystal clear. Finally, have a culture of integrity, meaning a culture of honesty, transparency, fairness, and strict adherence to rules. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. In real life, strategy is actually very straightforward. You pick a general direction and implement like hell. The steps are: first, come up with a big idea for your business. A smart, realistic, relatively fast way to gain sustainable competitive advantage. Second, put the right people in the right jobs to drive the big idea forward. And third, relentlessly seek out the best practices to achieve your big idea, whether inside or out, adapt them, and continually improve them. Strategy means making clear-cut choices about how to compete. You cannot be everything to everybody, no matter what the size of your business or how deep its pockets. Corner stores have learned that survival depends on finding a strategic position where no one can beat them. Big companies have the same challenge. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. Nothing compares to the effectiveness of Six Sigma when it comes to improving a company's operational frequency, raising its productivity, and lowering its costs. It improves design processes, gets products to market faster with fewer defects, and builds customer loyalty. Perhaps the biggest but most unheralded benefit of Six Sigma is its capacity to develop a group of great leaders. Six Sigma has two primary applications. First, it can be used to remove the variation in routine, relatively simple, repetitive tasks. And second, it can be used to make sure large, complex projects go right the first time. Six Sigma is meant for and has its most meaningful impact on repetitive internal processes and complex product designs. Once you understand the simple maxim, variation is evil, you're 60% of the way to becoming a Six Sigma expert. The other 40% are getting the evil out. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. How do you find the right job? You take one job, discover what you like and don't like about it, and what you're good and bad at, and then, in time, change jobs to get something closer to the right fit. If you join a company where your sensibilities don't fit in, you'll find yourself putting on a persona just to get along. In the best job scenario, you love the work, at least something about it. Sometimes it's the sheer challenge of the job. If a job doesn't excite you on some level, don't settle. Never be afraid to ask, just give me a chance. Someone will. Once you have the right job and have proved yourself, the next step is to work towards a promotion. Basically, getting promoted takes one do and one don't. Do deliver sensational performance far beyond expectations. Don't make your boss use political capital in order to champion you. Change your job in a way that makes the people around you work better and your boss look smarter. Don't just do the predictable to get ahead. You have to want to get ahead. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning. Without question, work-life balance as a concept has grown and expanded. It isn't just about how mothers can make time for all the demands in their lives. It's about how all of us manage our lives and allocate our time. It's about priorities and values. But no matter what balance you choose, you'll have to make trade-offs. However, there are a few things you can keep in mind. First, be focused on where you are and whom you are with. Second, have the mettle to say no to requests and demands outside your chosen work-life balance plan. And finally, make sure your work-life balance plan doesn't leave you out. Outside of work, clarify what you want from life. At work, clarify what your boss wants and understand that if you want to get ahead, what he or she wants comes first. If you can manage all of this, you're certainly on your way to winning.